Oh boy, guys, it's happening. This is it. This is the moment we have been waiting for. Isn't it? Today, the Vancouver Canucks are playing off against the Winnipeg Jets. It'll happen about 5 hours from the time of this video's publication on YouTube, and we have ourselves some updates, some of which you can say are maybe concerning, others you can say are a lot more exciting. Either way, we'll get into it all in this video. By the way, the show is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Go out there and click the first link in the description if you want some free VPN months for one of the best on the market. It gives us a little bit of a kickback too, so if you want to support the channel, you can help us out with Express. But before we dive into anything with the rosters or lineup changes or anything, let's talk about one of the best parts about today's Vancouver-Winnipeg game. As posted on Instagram by the Canucks and the Jets accounts, tonight both teams will wear decals in remembrance of Rick Rippon for our annual Hockey Talks game. We continue to be inspired by Rip's story and honor his legacy. And you can see the Winnipeg Jets helmets will have the RR11 decal, and the Canucks helmets will have the RR37. Fantastic stuff to honor Rick Rippon here. You love to see it. Now, when it comes to the game, let's get into some of the big lineup decisions for tonight. Dan Murphy posted this earlier this morning that Kevin Lankinen will start for Vancouver and Filip Hronek is in for Brisebois. He'll start on a pairing with Hughes, but Tocchet is going to monitor his minutes. And this is one of these ideas that I think is going to be pretty testing to see how Filip Hronek is able to respond. There is an opposing idea that has been brought up as to whether or not it's appropriate or not to actually hold things back. We had talked about this in a few videos, and it was discussed on 650. Here's a tweet that goes out there and pretty much sums it up. It's been clear since Hronek is out that Hughes can play with anyone. Why not strengthen the other pairs by moving Hronek down the lineup? And the top reply says, firstly, it's easier to bring Hronek back with someone he's used to playing with. Secondly, while Hughes' numbers are good with anyone, they are elevated with Filip Hronek. Number 3, the lift of Hronek playing with others does not offset the lift of Hronek playing with Hughes. I don't understand what that point means. The lift of Hronek playing with others doesn't offset the lift of Hronek playing with Hughes. What is lift referring to here? Okay, let's just go to the next one. It allows players to play where they should. And ultimately, everybody acknowledges that the best version of the Vancouver Canucks, the best version of what they could be, what they were last year, it's Hronek and Hughes together. That's the best case scenario. But as we had talked about, there was an argument going around saying, hey, like, Quinn and Myers have been playing pretty decently together. Quinn has been fantastic. Myers has been not the worst. So why would you not want to maybe spread it out a little bit, give Hronek a little bit more sheltered minutes, play him with Susie, have him driving his own pair, which would allow more offensive depth throughout the lineup because Hughes is already good no matter whom he plays with. But at the same time, I think we may have forgotten just how good Hughes and Hronek have been together. From portions of last season and then earlier on this season too, it's a really good pairing. And if Quinn Hughes' numbers are going to be elevated from playing with Filip Hronek, I do kind of question, how many points is this guy able to get? We know he's playing with half a hand, but he's still looking like a #1 defenseman in the entire league. So if he can just get a boost from playing with Hronek, then hey, I won't necessarily complain about it. And you could also oppose the argument too by saying, yeah, if you give Tyler Myers fewer minutes, then maybe he looks a little bit better there too. Although you also have to wonder, if Myers is not playing with Hughes anymore, does he get significantly worse? Like, if he goes from Hughes to Susie, but the minutes also decrease, does he actually look better, or does he look worse? Who really knows? They kind of cancel each other out. The absolute value of not playing with Hughes versus getting fewer minutes. But anyways, it is a note here that Tocchet says that Hronek's numbers will be monitored, and that's also a thing that I think we should pay attention to as well, because Hughes has been playing a lot of minutes. Like, Hughes, it's not uncommon for him to get like a 25, 26-minute game. Filip Hronek probably not going to do that right away. So I think, barring any extreme power play time, we might see ourselves, Hughes and Hronek, get separated a little bit especially towards maybe the middle and ending parts of the game, depending on the score here. But ultimately, it is good for the Canucks to get Hronek back. All we do hope for is that he's fully ready to go, and that he's not getting rushed by any means, because the Canucks have a pretty tough schedule, and they're just on the outside of the playoff race looking in. So we'll take a look as to how that goes down, but this tweet from Noah does encapsulate some of the sentiment here tonight. Is the first time the Vancouver Canucks have a healthy Hronek, Demko, Pettersson, Miller, Besser, and Hughes together this season. And sure, Demko's not going to start today, it's going to be Lankinen, but this is the first time all year that each of the core 5-6 guys have been healthy together. Demko on the bench, he is not out. It's not Silayev's anymore. PD, Miller, Besser, Hughes, Hronek, Demko. And then there are some other questions as to whether or not guys really are healthy and if they are getting rushed back, and that ultimately makes things a little bit more interesting. But at the end of the day, this is going to be our game, guys. This will be it. We'll see the best Vancouver Canucks team all season suit up today against the Winnipeg Jets, against one of the best goaltenders and teams in the NHL. For me personally, it's a pretty tough day in fantasy, because if any of y'all are in your leagues, you've noticed that this week is terrible for matchups. 13 games today, 2 games tomorrow, 13 games the next day, and then 2 on Friday, and then 15 on Saturday. They're coming in with the every team plays to no team plays, to every team plays to no team plays. And it's terrible for us because we have to set our lineups and inevitably bench guys because, not everybody's going to be able to get a spot. But for me, I've got a bunch of Jets in my lineup today, not necessarily because I'm anti-Canucks, it's just they happen to be on some of my teams. So I've got Scheifele, Ehlers, and Vilardi all on different squads, but for some of the benchings that I've made today, I'm like, yeah, I have to bench Vilardi. I have to bench at least one of my Jets guys because I kind of have a rule. I don't want to go against my favorite teams. It's like a final tiebreaker for me, and it might not be all too smart when you consider some of the matchups that I've won and lost all throughout the season, but still, this is kind of the way things are going. So for me personally, I'm going to be paying attention to Quinn Hughes, of course, because he is the main guy. I'll be paying attention to Scheifele, Ehlers, and Vilardi, seeing what they're doing. I do have Connor Hellebuck in one of my other leagues, so we'll see if he's able to pull out some massive numbers on the save columns. And then for Canucks in town, I do have Kiefer Sherwood as well. I've had him all year on my main primary league that I'm losing in. So Sherwood, please get some hits, please get some goals. Everybody else, though, we'll see what they do. We'll see what Filip Hronek is able to bring as a potentially top pairing defenseman for the Vancouver Canucks. But for now, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. How do you feel about the Canucks bringing everybody back, running it all back with some of these names that we have been eagerly anticipating to suit up for the team? Thoughts in the comment section below on Filip Hronek's return, as well as the other updates here. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.